hello, namaste. Welcome to my YouTube channel Manisha's Content Hub. I'm your Manisha. So today I'm gonna talk about important topics of user experience. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so now let's see how to balance business and customer goals as well as technical needs of an application that you are designing. So first of all, we have to define a goal. For that, we have to conduct user research. Once a business gets a better idea of user needs that it aims to define the problem the product aims to solve. Most important, listening to user feedback. A good user experience is to integrate business goals with user goals. So first thing that company has to do is learn about the business needs and then talk to the customers to understand user needs. If the user goals is satisfied, then the business goals is also satisfied and balanced. So now let's see how to make sure our design are accessible. Accessible means we should make sure that our product is used by the people who are disability problems or they have color blindness. So we should make sure that our product is used by all such peoples. So for that, firstly add the color contrast. Make sure there is enough contrast between text and background color. And then second one is design usable focus state. Focus state are indicators to show that we are selecting something, for example button or link, like that. Using placeholders for form field. And then write useful alt for the images. And don't use color for writing information. Persons with color blindness may find that difficult to read. Instead, use black and white to differentiate information. Your navigation should be clear and consistent. Okay, so now let's imagine if we are building a mobile app, then how do we prioritize which pain points to solve for? First of all, conduct user research and then analyze user behavior and then evaluate business goals and then afterwards create user personas. Finally, prioritize based on impact and feasibility. What I meant by impact is that like how this will impact on them, what are their reaction and how they will feel. And then feasibility means by solving the pain points our app will be successful. So consider the impact solving a pain point will have on user satisfaction, engagement and retention. Now engagement means how user use your product and retention means user returns back to use your product and as well as the feasibility of implementing a solution. So now let's see if we are designing a website, what are some ways to build empathy into the product and make that visible to user. Now, what is empathy? Empathy is to understand the needs and preferences of the user. So, what I meant is how we can show the people that we are emphasizing their needs and preferences. So first one is human-centered design. Using this principle to ensure your website is created around the user needs. Secondly, contents that resonates. Use language and images that speaks to their needs, desires and addresses their pain points. Third one is personalization. Use personalization to make the user feel seen and understood. This includes personalization contents based on user behavior recommending the products. And then responsive product. Website optimized for different devices and screens. And then support and communication. So make sure you have a clear communication and support channels. This includes FAQs, chatbots, and content form. And then emotional design, designing with focus on emotion and experience, that is images, fonts, colors, etc. So now let's see what questions would you ask to help design a problem statement. So start with who is affected by the problem. What is the problem that you are trying to solve? How the problem occurs? How does user achieves the goal using the product? When, where and how often they face the problem? Why is this a problem? What is the impact of the problem? So by asking such questions, you can solve the problem. So now let's see what is information architecture and why is information architecture needed in user experience. So, information architecture is a document that provides an map to how a product acts and functions work for user. It is blueprint of digital product and it displays pages, content, interaction, behavior for entire product. Information architecture is a key part of designing a satisfying user experience. A strong information architecture helps the user to quickly find what they are looking for and complete their desired task. It is aiming at organized, structured, and labeled information that helps the user to find the useful information and solve their problem. So now let's see what are deceptive design patterns. How do you avoid them in your designs? So deceptive design patterns are tricks used by apps and websites to do things that usually you will not do. That means signing in, switch your setting and buy things forcefully. So things that you should avoid are scarcity and forced continuity and conform shaming, sneak into the basket and hidden cost. So now let's imagine if you are working on an app, how would you use company's mission statement to define the app's value proposition? So firstly, let's see what is example of company's mission statement. So Microsoft company's mission statement is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. And Disney's mission statement is to create happiness for people of all ages and everywhere. So like that, now we should see that how we should use company's mission statement to define the app's value proposition. So firstly, understanding company's mission statement and then finding and identifying app's target audience and then align the app's features with company mission statement. And by using the insight from this step, now we have to create the proposition of the app align with the company's mission statement. We have to clearly communicate the app's unique features and address the needs and preferences of the user while supporting overall mission of the company. So now let's talk about implicit bias. Implicit means indirect bias. So let's imagine if we are working on an app, then how would we work to avoid implicit bias in our design? So firstly, understanding and acknowledging the bias. Start with acknowledging that you have bias and understand what the bias is. And then secondly, conduct user research. Conduct user research with diverse set of users to understand pain points and needs and preferences. Thirdly, you should create personas. Develop persona of diverse set of users you have researched. And then using inclusive language and images. So you should avoid language and images which are offensive and exclusionary to certain groups. Fifth one, design for accessibility. Design with accessibility to ensure your app is used by all the users, including user with any disability problems. And then last one is test your design. Test your design with diverse set of users to find out if there is any bias and improve user experience. So now let's see what is usability study and when would you conduct usability study. So a usability study is used to test the usability of the app. It can be conducted at various stages at design phase, development phase and post-launch. So first one is design phase. It is used to test the wireframes and prototype. It helps to find any problem issues at early stage of designing. Second one is in development phase. It is used to test a design when the design is being developed. Third one is post-launch. It is used to test the app to see if user is experiencing any problem. And the fourth one is competitive analysis. It is used to test the competitor's app. This can help the organization to find their weaknesses and strengths. And this may help us to improve our own product. Okay, so I hope you understood all the topics. So I'll meet you in the next video. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe and comment. Okay, so lots of love. Radhe Radhe.